in the medical management of this condition, we have the main thing is that we have to focus on the management of the blood pressure and also to increase the blood volume. Okay, so first of all, there can be a chance of orthostatic hypotension, right? So in order to overcome that or to treat that, we can give the patient a position in which the head of the patient can be elevated. So you can provide a backrest and the head end can be elevated. Okay, so then in the pharmacological therapy, we have some drugs and those drugs will be mainly focusing on the improvement of the heart functioning and especially on the regulation of the blood pressure within normal range. And then also we have to focus on the we have to focus on increasing the volume of the blood. Okay, so expansion of the blood volume. So these things we'll be focusing on. So for that we have to give the drugs such as alpha adrenergic blockers, and we can give beta adrenergic blockers, and then we have calcium channel blockers. Then we have some other drugs are also there. Metoracin is there. Okay, so these drugs are there. I'll be explaining about these drugs to you. So first of all, that we have the alpha adrenergic blockers. So in these drugs will be giving in order to regulate the blood pressure, and these drugs will be like when we start giving this classification of drug alpha adrenergic blockers. So what we can do is we start giving the drug, and on the second day or the third day of this drug, we can make the patient, we have to make the patient to take high sodium diet. So in especially we have to see that the patient should not be contraindicated to take more amount of sodium in the diet. So here we'll be focusing on high sodium diet, and we have to see for the monitoring of the blood pressure along with that. Then after that, what we can do, once the adequate amount of the alpha adrenergic blockers that we want the patient to have in the body, that much amount has reached, then we can start with the low dose of beta adrenergic blockers. So when we give this beta adrenergic blockers, we have to be very cautious. We have to start it with very low dose of this medication. Then we this is the one management. This is one example, one management for this condition, and we are giving these medications for the pre-operative management. Okay, why? Because the proper treatment for this condition is only the surgery. So before the surgery, what we can do, we are doing all that using the medications. So the medications will be mainly focusing on the regulation of the blood pressure and the blood volume. So after that, we'll be doing the surgery in order to treat this condition. Then we have some drugs such as the calcium channel blockers. So for the patient who cannot take alpha or beta adrenergic blockers, for those patients we'll be giving calcium channel blockers. For example, we have nifedipine. Okay, then we have some more drugs, that is alpha methyl p tyrosine. That is also, like we can say, metirosine is there. Okay, METYROSINE, metirosine. So this drug is a drug which will have a lot of side effects. Okay, so there are various side effects because of these drugs. That's why we try to avoid this drug, and only if the patient cannot be given alpha adrenergic blockers and all these drugs, so then only we give metirosine. This is there. So once we have achieved the blood pressure regulation level in the body, then we can go for the surgery. Okay, and we have to make sure that the patient should have a good amount of blood volume in the body, so that when the tumor is removed from the body, then because of that there should not be a dip in the blood pressure. Okay, so in order to prevent that, we are focusing on regulation of the blood volume and the blood pressure. So in the surgical management, here we have the main management for the tumor will be the removal of the tumor. And where is this tumor? In the adrenal gland. So we will have to either remove the tissue where there is the tumor. The tissue of the tumor will have to remove. If the tumor is of a greater size that has affected the whole of the adrenal gland, we'll have to remove the adrenal gland. So there will be a procedure called adrenalectomy, right? Adrenalectomy. So it can be removal of one or both of the adrenal glands. So depending on the size of the tumor, we have two types of surgeries here. One is laparoscopic and the other one is open surgery. So laparoscopic surgery we can do if the tumor is of the size less than 8 centimeters, and if the surgeon also if the tumor is present in only one adrenal gland. Okay, so that is, in that condition we will be using laparoscopic surgery. But in the other condition, if the tumor is more than 8 centimeters of size and also it is present in more than one adrenal gland, that means both of the adrenal glands are affected, so in that condition we'll have to go for open surgery. So that if we are removing the both of the adrenal glands, so that will be bilateral adrenalectomy. That will be called bilateral adrenalectomy. Okay, and also this is also one another consideration we have to see, or one other requirement is there, that if you are doing laparoscopic surgery, you have to make sure that that tumor is not malignant. Then only you can go for laparoscopic surgery. If the tumor seems malignant or there is a malignancy, that means it is cancerous. So we cannot go for laparoscopic surgery. We have to go for open surgery. So this is there. Then we have some more things to keep in mind. Yeah, so since the adrenal gland will be removed, right, so we have to see for some other things, that is the replacement of the hormones is also to be taken care of, right? So some other hormones that are produced by the adrenal gland includes, yes, the corticosteroids, the mineralocorticoids, these things. So we have to go for corticosteroid replacement. Okay, so here first of all you will be beginning with the IV administration of the corticosteroids, and then after the when the surgery is done and after the surgery, the early preoperative stage is over, then you can go for oral administration of the corticosteroids. So this is there, and after the surgery there can be a complication of hypotension and hypoglycemia. Why? Because the epinephrine hormone that was being produced a lot much in the condition of pheochromocytoma. So the tumor has been removed now, so that that much amount will not be there, right? So there will be epinephrine will not be much in amount in the body. So thus hypotension and hypoglycemia can occur. So we have to monitor the level of these hormones, epinephrine or norepinephrine. Both of these hormones are to be regulated in the body. Okay, and they have to be monitored and they have to be seen for that they stay in the within the normal range. Then after so for this condition, how you will monitor? By taking the tests. So you will have to monitor the urine and plasma level of these hormones, that is the catecholamines. Okay, and also their metabolites. So if we get these levels from the urine and the plasma, so we can get to know what is the level in the body of these hormones. Next, in the nursing management, we have we are focusing on the functioning of the heart here. So we'll be focusing on monitoring the ECG changes, if there is any change in the ECG pattern, and then arterial pressure, then blood and electrolyte balance. That also we'll have to look for. Why? Because the blood volume has to be maintained within normal, right? So for that we have to see that the fluid and electrolyte is maintained well, balance is maintained, and then also the blood glucose level we'll have to monitor. And for these medications, different medications and the corticosteroids and the fluids, IV access will be required, right? Because we have to keep the patient hydrated, so we'll have to go with the IV access. So all these things we'll have to keep in mind when we are managing such patient. And then what are things you'll have to educate the patient is that you have to educate them about follow-up care, that they have to come for follow-up and how much important it is, and we have to make them understand that this condition should not come again. That's why they have to come for follow-up definitely. Okay, because there are chances that it can recur or it can occur again. Then since the patient will be using corticosteroids, so it has to be made sure that the patient takes the medicines, these corticosteroids, in time, and it does not skip any dose of it. Okay, and the patient should not stop this administration of corticosteroids at all. Then the patient has to keep the record of the blood pressure. So these blood pressure has to be monitored, and also the 24-hour urine specimen, okay, that has to be collected and seen that whether it is normal or not. So that testing will also be there. So about that you will have to educate the patient and also the bystanders. After that, there is continuing care. So you'll have to educate about it to the patient, that after in continuing care, it's like after the patient has gone home, and the home care nurse can go for follow up visit to the patient at home, in a home setting. Okay, and we can see their blood pressure and take their samples for the checking of their levels of the catecholamines in the blood, and urine samples, and 24-hour urine specimen collection. All these things can be done, and we can monitor that whether the surgery has been successful or not, or whether this pheochromocytoma has been treated or not. So this is all about this condition, and we will be dealing about more in the next classes. Thank you all.